Hi, and welcome to a new episode of Jogging Along. I'm Frankie,
I'm Jeff.
and today we're going to be talking about how to keep running fun. Running should first and foremost be fun and enjoyable. So, in this episode, we're going to explore our top tips for keeping running fun.
Yep, and we'll probably expand on these in future episodes on their own. So put in the comments what you'd like to hear about more.
Our first tip for today is to change up your boots.
Yep. If you've been running a certain route, try having a bit of explore of your local area. Think, what's down that street? Where else can I go? Maybe have a look online to see if there's anybody who's found different routes in the local area. But just explore. Even if you go somewhere and it's a dead end, that's fine. Just next time it might be a new route.
Yeah, it can even be as simple as if you're not happy going exploring, just running your usual route, but the other way. If you happen to be doing like a loop run, just run the loop backwards to how you would normally run it, or else make a destination run. Make your destination a cafe or somewhere for a drink and a cake at the end, and just make it a bit of a somewhere to go run.
Yeah, or like a photograph, a nice picturesque place like here.
Yes.
That you could finish off with and have a nice photograph of yourself, and maybe put it on social media. Maybe not, up to you, but just something to aim for and then come back.
Our next tip is to run with a friend or a partner, because then you can have a chat, and the runs always go faster when you can have a chat. And they often say to run or jog at conversational pace.
Yeah. And also, if you've arranged to go out and have a run with someone, you're far less likely to bail on it and decide,
Yes.
I'd rather stay in. If someone else is committed to coming, it commits to you, and it's much more of an incentive to actually go on, and it'll encourage you.
If you don't have any friends or anyone that that you can run with, that's kind of your pace or is happy to come out with you, then there are other alternatives out there to get you out running with other people. So for instance, there's Park Run on Saturday mornings at 9:00, which we are big advocates of because we help set our local one up. But every Saturday 9:00, somewhere near you, there will be a park run, which you can register for and just turn out parkrun.org.uk, I believe it is. But if you just search Park Run, they'll have a location somewhere near you, probably, and you can go along to that and have a nice 5k on a nice inclusive 5k on a Saturday morning with hundreds of other people. Some are smaller than others, but you can walk, you can jog and do it at your own pace. So it's a nice pressure-free run with other people on a Saturday morning at 9:00.
Or you could try out a local running club.
Yes, running clubs are also a great alternative for getting out with people. Most running clubs will have different groups that will go out of their evenings. So there'll normally be a beginners group, and then some slightly more advanced groups depending on the size of the club. So yeah, get online, search out for your local running club, contact them, find out what they have to offer, and go for it.
And our next one is, if you're really not feeling it today, then maybe don't force yourself out if you really don't fancy it.
Yeah, so this is more kind of, we were thinking more if it's absolutely chucking it down with rain, or it's coming up to winter and the time of day that you normally go out running is getting a bit darker. It comes down to the point of this episode, which first and foremost, running should be fun, and if you really don't feel like it, then don't. There's plenty of workouts out there on YouTube. Do something else in the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, maybe a bit of exercise indoors. Just don't go out there, get wet, cold, miserable, resent the fact you're going out for a run, and just start to not like running. Don't do that to yourself, and don't make it a negative.
And leading on from that is our next tip, which for me is a very, very important tip, and that is, if your joints start saying no, stop.
Yeah. If any part of you starts saying no, no. Don't force yourself if your body is saying that, maybe today's not a good day. Listen to your body. Listen to your body whilst you're running, and listen to your body before you go out for a run as well, and after. Yeah. And don't feel pressurized into going for a run when your body is saying no.
Yeah, especially if you're really, really tired, because that's when injuries happen. So it's important to know what's normal for you. So for instance, I can go out running and my knee can start getting a little bit tired and a little bit painful, but I know when it's just tired and when it's a bad painful, because I've lived with it for my knee injury for 20 odd years. So I know actually, that's the time to stop. So get to know what's normal for you, and if at any point you end up being in pain, stop. Our next tip is kind of one of the more fun tips that we have, really, and it's to have the right running kit. Kitting yourself out with the right kit can be a really fun and enjoyable experience as well, but it's all about knowing what to spend the money on.
Obviously, the most important thing is trainers.
Yes.
A lot of people will think, I don't like running because there's too much shock going up my legs, and you find out they're actually just using just fashiony trainers and not actual proper running trainers that will absorb the impact. So if you get some trainers that will actually protect your legs, protect your knees, and allow you to run properly, then you'll enjoy it more.
Yeah, it doesn't have to cost a fortune, but getting the right trainers is so important. And there's shops out there that you can go and get analysis on what sort of support and stuff is good for you. And that it really is, if you take nothing else away, making sure that you've got the right trainers. Although it might feel like an expense, in the long run will stop injuries, etc. So it is such a good thing.
Get good trainers, not necessarily expensive trainers, don't need to be really, really pricey, but just good trainers, and your joints and your body will thank you for it.
The other bits of kit that you might want to think about investing in is, if you are going out running and you need place for your phone and your car keys, etc., and you don't just want them banging around in pockets, is to look at things like running belts and running vests. There's so much out there. It's just finding what the right combination is for you.
Yeah, don't get overwhelmed. I mean, obviously there's all safety stuff, like if you're going to be going out in darker winter evenings, then reflective stuff, lights and stuff are important, but you don't have to go out looking like a Christmas tree on legs.
Unless you want to.
Unless you want to, and that's fine. Unless that makes that fun, then go for it. But yeah, some things can be just a bit of fun though, can't they?
Yes, I mean you can have all sorts of fun with your running kit. You know, there's some places out there that do the designs for your skirts and your shorts and your leggings, and you can have all the funky designs that you want, and you can be as coordinated or as uncoordinated as you want to be. At the end of the day, no one's judging you other than yourself with what you're wearing, really. So knock yourself out and just buy whatever kit that you want to buy. So our next tip is about challenges and rewards. So it's all about keeping yourself a little bit motivated. So apps like Fitbit, Strava, Garmin, they will have like monthly challenges. So they've got, for instance, Strava has the 3 lots of 20 minutes of activity every week, or a certain number of minutes in the month, or 10 days during the month. It's whatever you find that can keep you motivated. There are also places out there that do virtual medals. So Virtual Runner UK is a big one that you may or may not have heard of, but there's plenty of others out there where you pay to enter. Some of the money goes to charity, is normally how it works. You do your challenge to submit your run a distance, do whatever, submit your results, and you get a nice shiny medal at the end of it. It's just a little bit of motivation, but your reward could be anything. It could be a new pair of trainers, it could be another bit of kit, it could be a new watch, or if there's something out there that you want. But it is sometimes helpful to set yourself a goal and then give yourself a reward when you hit that goal. It's all about keeping it fun. So leading on from the setting yourself goals and giving yourself rewards, it's often quite important, or some people find it helpful, to keep track of that progress. And you can do this in several ways. You can just, the good old-fashioned way of going out to a stationery shop and buying yourself a nice glossy new notebook and pen, and you can handwrite the progress that you've made. Keep a diary of what runs you've done. I often use Strava just to keep track of my activities. And if you don't want, if what puts you off with using apps like Strava is the fact that other people can see what you're doing, there are ways of setting it to private so that only you can see it. If that's something you want us to go into in a future video, then let us know in the comments below. But yes, I often just use Strava to track my personal activities, but also the Fitbit app and things like that will often have methods of tracking what you do as well. But yeah, it can be very motivational to see your progress towards your goal.
Obviously, a lot of these apps like Strava, they'll encourage you to share, because it's how they work, getting people to join and getting people to interact with each other and things like that. But you don't have to work it like that. You can just use it as a private record of what you're doing just to motivate yourself. You don't have to use it as a way of bragging about how fast you've run. It can be used just to motivate yourself rather than boast to others.
Yes, and if that isn't for you, then you can do what we're doing now. Just kind of talk into your phone, talk into your camera, talk to some random strangers on social media about how you felt on your run that day. You know, I've just been out for a run, I felt really good, or I've just been out for a run and oh my God, that was such hard work today. And then it's just something that you can then look back on.
Like a running diary, basically.
Like a running diary, yeah.
And finally, if you can't run with someone, how about running with some music? And this has become a little more convoluted than back in the day when you'd whack on a Walkman and a pair of little earphones. And a lot of music now is online. And if you've got a Spotify account or something similar, then that's fine. You can use that to run with, assuming you don't go into a connection black spot and suddenly the music stops. But maybe download the music first before going out. But there are alternatives. There are actually they still do little MP3 players. Sony even still does Walkmans, as they're basically MP3 players branded Walkman, and you can just save MP3 files onto it, and no data connection at all, no monthly subscriptions or anything. You just rip CDs or download CDs of music and just use that.
So a lot of it these days will rely on you having data of some form on your phone. Like Jeff has alluded to there, most of it is on, say, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, Spotify. So if you don't want to stream your music and use your data as you go along, then sometimes a little bit more preparation is required. Make sure your headphones are connected to your phone via Bluetooth, that connection's working. Otherwise, you're going to find that with all the preparation in the world, you're not going to get any music. And possibly download stuff in advance that you would want to listen to.
Also, earphones, headphones are an important choice. You've got bone conduction headphones, and headphones that just sit near the ear rather than in the ear, so that allows you to hear what's going on, which is obviously a lot safer when you're out and about running. Personally, when I'm out running, I only use the bone conduction headphones so I can hear everything around me, as well as the music. So that's just a lot safer.
Yes, and I think if you're interested in bone conduction headphones, I'm sure there's a video on our other channel, Mammoth Tech Show, which goes into more detail. Which goes into more detail about the bone conductions, because I actually started using them for reasons completely unrelated to running, and it was because I used to get a lot of ear infections with putting earbuds in. So I invested in bone conduction, and then discovered the benefits of being able to jog with them. They're great because you can still have conversations with everyone around you, but you can listen to your music, but you can, most importantly, if you are out and about, you can still hear traffic, sirens, and any instructions that someone might be giving you. Say if you're at park running, you need to listen to the marshals.
And another thing, if you don't want to listen to music, there are alternatives. Audiobooks or podcasts are also another alternative, and we may go on to this in more detail in another episode. Let us know in the comments what you'd like to know about that. But they're another way, if you're not really into the music, but you want something else to be going on whilst you're running, to keep the interest up there.
Yes, I know a lot of people that use it as a way to catch up with their podcasts and things like that, because they haven't got time to listen to them at home, so they just put them on and listen to them whilst they're out for a run. Something else to think about rather than how tired your legs are getting.
Yeah.
So that's it for today, folks. Thank you for taking the time to listen to our tips about keeping running fun. I hope some of them you find useful, and can take them forward in your own running journeys.
And don't forget to put your suggestions in the comments for what you'd like to see expanded upon in future episodes. And if you found this useful or just a bit entertaining, please give it a like. And if you'd like to see more from us, why not subscribe?
I've been Frankie.
I've been Jeff.
And this has been Jogging Along.
Thank you very much.